President Trump's historic meeting with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un ends with a signed agreement for North Korea to denuclearize. And the president says that he and Kim developed a special bond during their meeting last night. In exchange for North Korea giving up its nuclear weapons, President Trump has committed to provide security guarantees. The president has already announced the United States will stop military exercises with South Korea. Both leaders agreed to hold follow-up negotiations, and those will be led by Secretary of State Mike Pompeo. However, the president says that there are no guarantees about what the agreement will lead to.
Honestly, I think he's going to do these things. I may be wrong. I mean, I may stand before you in 6 months and say, hey, I was wrong. I don't know that I'll ever admit that, but I'll find some kind of an excuse.
The president, who is now on his way back to the United States, says that he will invite Kim to the White House at a later date. President Trump says that he got exactly what he wanted out of this meeting. But what's the path forward, and what concessions will the U.S. have to make? Our chief political correspondent, Scott Thuman, is taking a look.
It was a handshake many hope will end those ominous missile tests, a long way from the days of threats of war and world leaders comparing the size of nuclear buttons.
It worked out for both of us far better than anybody could have expected.
세상은 아마 중대한 변화를 보게 될 것입니다.
The world will see a major change.
By day's end, signatures, and key among the four-point agreement, the commitment to work towards complete denuclearization of the Korean Peninsula. No specifics, though, on how that would happen.
We'll be verifying. It'll be
How is that
verified.
going to be achieved, Mr. President?
Well, it's going to be achieved by having a lot of people there.
Olivia Enos, an expert with the Heritage Foundation, is in Singapore.
I think a lot of people in the international community were expecting that we would be laying out, an opportunity for IAEA inspections, maybe even the reinstitution of cameras so that we could be verifying that North Korea is in fact denuclearizing. We got none of those details.
Though in exchange, President Trump will halt military exercises with South Korea that he called provocative, and eventually consider the possible removal of some of the roughly 28,000 U.S. troops there.
He can continue to abuse his people. Frankly, he can continue his nuclear program with minimal repercussions.
And since North Korea has broken similar vows in the past, some members of Congress want to vote on any negotiations or agreements.
I want to look closely at what the discussion was about our joint operations, our joint military operations.
We need to have the guarantees, and we need to have the oversight, and we also need to have independent inspection of all facilities.
Scott Thuman, News Channel 8.